Hello and welcome to the season that was, brought to you by AAMI, Riley, Beveridge and Kane Cornes with you. And today we are wrapping up the 2024 season of Greater Western Sydney. It ended in really disappointing circumstances, out in straight sets. But there were plenty of positives, Kane, mostly from their small forward fleet. They've got an impressive crop of attacking players.
Yeah, led by Captain Toby Green, who he wasn't at his best this year. I think he's got a lift next year. There's no doubt about that. All-Australian captain last year, so just the 41 goals from him. Daniels was excellent, albeit not his best final against Brisbane, where he made some critical errors. That man, Darcy Jones, such a young man. That's one of the real positives. Bedford, in his role, is more a run-with player now who's done that incredibly effectively. So when you look at that, and you also chuck in Aaron Cadman, who's a taller player, clearly a key position, but he's arrived as well. So they've got some young players forward of the ball they'd be really excited about.
We've spoken about whether or not their brand of football is sustainable for long periods of time. We saw that in both finals against Sydney and then Brisbane, where they coughed up big leads. But scores from turnover differential is such an important factor in footy these days. The Giants won scores from turnover differential in only 8 of 24 games this year.
Yeah, and you can look at the business end of the season and where these teams rank in terms of their chance to win the premiership. Brisbane and Sydney through to the prelims, Port Adelaide as well is probably the outlier there. They've got some other advantages in their game, and the Cats. So that's an area that they need to improve on. No doubt about that. The easiest way to score in football is off turnover.
All right, plenty of good moments for the Giants this season. None better than a late season victory against Brisbane. It's ironic they did go out at the hands of a Brisbane comeback, because their biggest moment of the season was a comeback against the Lions, where they stormed home from 30 points down in the first term to win this one.
Yeah, and it was those young players we've spoken about. There's Darcy Jones, he was enormous in this last quarter. It was Cadman. Look, I think they're really well led by Adam Kingsguard. I do think he is a good coach, despite the fact he wouldn't be feeling like that with the squandering of leads in both finals against Sydney and Brisbane. But he does have a game style where he's able to manipulate the forward matchups. We've seen that, and at times, even in the final against Brisbane, they just had no answers. Like Hogan kicks 5 because they couldn't get Harris Andrews onto him, and it was a pain matchup. Cadman's been important in that. So I think there is some advantages. They've backed the coach in, they've extended his contract, but right now they'd be feeling like it was a wasted season or wasted opportunity with where they finished the season.
In terms of their season start, Jesse Hogan is that man. He won the Coleman medal, his first ever Coleman medal, 77 goals throughout the course of the campaign. It was just fantastic to see him hit his potential that he's shown for so long throughout his career, and for it to all culminate in this campaign.
No, he's a gun. He's an absolute gun. Most goals in Giants history. So he'll go down in Giants history. It's going to take some beating, and he did it mainly in the air. Like, his ability to mark the football inside 50 was the best in the competition by an absolute mile. Like, he just got the best hands inside 50 in the competition. And look, he's got a really nice manner about him. He's really reliable in front of goal. A lot of his goals come from inside 30. That means his accuracy is through the roof. So him and Cadman, I reckon, are going to be a problem for the next at least 2 or 3 years.
They look like premiership favourites for much of the campaign. They bow out in straight sets, having led Sydney by 28 points and led Brisbane by 44 points. What do you give them as a grade?
Yeah, I give them a B, but that's probably been just a little bit kind from the position that they were in. They were a real chance to win the premiership, and they're not easy to win, and they're hard to win, and not often you're in this position, so it's not guaranteed they'll be back there inside the top 4 next year, and this one's going to burn the footy club for a long time.
Certainly will. Disappointing way for the Giants season to come to a close. Stick around on afl.com.au. We are wrapping up every club's 2024 season in the season that was.